So the Fortuna 2 update dropped not long ago, and with it came the Orb Mother fight, the Profit Taker, and of course the bounties that you need to run in order to get that Profit Taker off the top of the enrichment lab. Now of course these bounties are going to give you special items that of course you're going to then need to rank up with Vox Solaris and different bits and pieces as well. Now I'm going to talk a little bit just about the mechanics of this orb fight in this video, and of course what I think of it. First up, this was literally our very first blind run at the Profit Taker. We were also testing out the Hystrix and swapping its elements to see if it would work to burn down its shield, which I'll talk about again in a few minutes. Also, my Archwing weapon of choice, since I don't really like Archwing as a game mode, was one of the only ones that I actually have leveled, the Phaedra, kind of like the massive Soma. And if I'm being honest, I genuinely thought jumping into this fight because of that, it would be really hard to take down the Orb Mother, because I wasn't dealing the damage or I wasn't pulling my weight compared to the other guys in the squad. But I was totally wrong, because the fight is not hard at all. I mean, it's just about coordination with your squad, and I can see Eidolon farm squads, the guys that can burst out 18 Eidolons in one night cycle, absolutely eating up the Profit Taker in no time whatsoever. They just need, like I said, a little bit of coordination with the elemental types and weapons to burn down that shield, and then that's it, it's dead. Now apparently the Velocitus, which one of the guys in my squad was using, hits incredibly hard against the Orb Mother, especially if you have Chroma equipped, because that was he was running, and it was one-shotting the limbs every time that shield went down. Now the 4 bounties that you complete before the actual orb fight are pretty straightforward. Defend the terminal, defend the drone, kill targets, coordinate the use of 2 terminals at the same time. One terminal inside the enrichment lab and the other of course is outside, and then the 2 players need to interact with that terminal or with those 2 terminals pretty much 3 seconds apart, or else they have to do it again. So it's basically just push buttons at the same time, because doing that of course will get the Profit Taker down off his high wall, and then with the next bounty that's when the real fun fight begins. Now, so the mechanics of this fight are pretty simple. The Profit Taker needs to be damaged with a certain element type in order to bring its shields down, and it kind of tells you, it actually tells you what element you need to be hitting it with. It will be shown in the form of a green hologram symbol that sits on the Profit Taker's forehead. So you will see a green symbol at the top of the Profit Taker's head or its face, and this will basically tell you what the element type is that you need to damage it with. Now this elemental type will rotate once you've dealt enough of that damage type to the Profit Taker. So if it's heat damage and you hit him with enough heat damage, then it will rotate to a different type, just I guess so as you can't burn down the shields too fast. So the fight is a little bit time gated in that sense as well. Maybe it will rotate to cold or electric or viral radiation and so on. Now if you do enough damage, the shields will go down, allowing you to first damage all of its legs, which you need to do in order to knock it down and kind of stun it, and then you need to deal damage to its actual body or its head. Once you've dealt enough damage to that head, it will of course stand back up, start firing rockets at you, and its shields will be back up as well. So it's basically then time to rinse and repeat from the first phase, all the while trying to survive against the Profit Taker's wall barriers, the shields that spawn in front of you and then kind of push you out of the way and deal a decent amount of damage to you at the same time. It will fire rockets, it will use its huge laser beams on you, while also surviving against hordes of corpus enemies and MOAs that spawn and knock you about the place as well, because that's one thing this fight has a lot of: knockdowns and knockbacks. There are way too many corpus units with this ability while taking part in this fight. Like I said earlier, you and your squad will have to coordinate the different damage types on your primaries and secondary weapons in order to bring those shields down faster, and of course on your Archwing Gun as well. I had radiation and viral, one of the other guys had corrosive, one had cold, you get the picture. But there was a few moments throughout this fight where we couldn't deal damage at all. None of us had that elemental damage type, and we just kind of had to wait for it to rotate to the next one. Now, if you're wondering how you get your Archwing Gun, as you run through your bounties you will get a device that allows you to unlock one Archwing weapon. You will also need to build one of these devices, or you have the blueprint for these devices in your clan dojo in the Tenno Labs, which allows you, I guess, eventually to unlock all of these arc guns. And then once you've finished another one of the bounties, you get a device in the mail which allows you to equip that in your gear wheel. I can't remember the name of the device. It's the arc gun loader or something like that. You basically need to put this in your gear wheel, and that allows you then to break out your Archwing gun throughout the Prophet Taker fight. Now, I will leave you with the rest of this fight, and you can let me know what you think of it. Like I've said already, it's pretty easy to kill this Orb Mother, but it is the first one. There is other Orb Mothers coming as well, so maybe they will have additional tactics or additional abilities tacked onto them, and it might be a lot harder and hit a lot harder as well. Only time will tell. Now, reward wise, which is something I think a lot of you are probably more interested, are these actually worth it for the reward? This one, all it dropped for us, and I don't know if this was just by chance or what, whether it has a chance to drop something else, but all it dropped was a rare type or a new type of Toroid, which grants 6,000 reputation for each one of those that you get. Of course, with that reputation from Vox Solaris, there is new Tenno Arcanes and new Amp Arcanes as well. And it is worth noting that some of these new Amp Arcanes will change your Amp's damage type from Void damage to an elemental damage, which would actually be perfect for nuking down these orbs' shields a lot faster. If all 4 players had different weapons with different elemental damage types, but they also had an amp that dealt a different elemental damage type as well, it would allow you to basically cover, I guess, the grounds of all of the different damage types in the game and burn down the Prophet Taker shields much quicker. But let me know what you think of the fight. You need to be maximum rank with Solaris United to fight the Prophet Taker. Do me a huge favour and hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, or don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Warframe, and as always, thanks very much for watching.
Oh, don't have that.
A bunch of
yeah, I'm going after them.
Pylons back up. Wreck 'em.
Yeah.
Scratch 1.
There's only, I only see one left.
Yeah, there's one at the back. I'm working on that one. Unless
I have
you
it.
get through.
Back on.
Alright, got
Oh, I
him.
think there's another one. I think there's
I'm
another
gonna
one.
die here.
I got it.
Yeah, it's Toxin now.
I can't do any damage right now.
Is this a bad time?
D, what is it?
I'm doing 0 damage right now, so
Satellite
I'm
just
waiting
moved.
for the
This
elements.
crew must have figured out our bypass. It's realigning.
Sparky, you're running out of time. You have to kill her now. We won't get another chance at this.
And I'm out of ammo.
Yeah, we probably should have. Oh, you can get the legs now. Shields off. Yeah,
Alright, shields down, shields down.
I mean,
try the legs. Two legs on this side done. Yeah.
Better you than me.
I've only got a few more.
Fucking knockdowns.
Firing them all.
There we go, there we go.
yeah.
I think that's it.
Suppressing fire.
I think that's it dead.
Nice one. We got it.
Yes.
We got it. Nice. Definitely gonna need to put some ammo mods on.
Dude, just pick up Velocitus.
Yeah.
I never ran out of ammo throughout that fight, and it was
Is it?
1 or 2 shotting limbs.
Holy crap.
I see.
We
The
did it.
Velocitus is gonna be
We
the
did
way
it.
Yeah,
to
it's
go
more
for
about
that
having the weapons in between as well. That you can switch the elements.
So what if?
Get in there, Tenno.
What if?
Rip out
What
anything
if
you
you
think
have 2
might help our
people
cause.
with Velocitus and then 2 people just for
Yeah.
looting, etc.
Or destroying the turrets.
You know, using a
This?
Grapnel,
What's that sound?
etc. Yeah, just for destroying it.
It's continuing to overcharge the orb. At this rate, in a
hello?
matter of seconds, it will.
Run.
Yep. About to explode! I wonder how big this nuke is. It has to be map wide. Come on. Come on, be a bigger nuke.
Little tiny.
Bigger
Poof.
Too
nuke.
close, Sparky. Leg it.
Please be a
Oh
big
wow,
nuke.
okay. Holy shit!
Alright, it was a big nuke.
Size doesn't matter.
Shit.